You ever ask yourself what's the best ways to get wealthy with Bitcoin? Should you sell once the price skyrockets and tries to time it perfectly? Or just hold tight for 10 plus years and lets the magic happen? Let's be real, most people out here trying to outsmart the market. They think they'll sell at the top, buy back lower. But the truth that strategies is the reason most people never make it. Take this old saying, sell in May and go away. Sound clever, right? It's an old Wall Street rule where people sell stocks before summer expecting weeks return until October. But apply that to Bitcoin and it becomes financial suicide. If you had followed that advice with Bitcoin since 2015, sold in May, bought back in October, you have lost 60% of your Bitcoin stack. Gone. Just like that. Imagine you started with one full Bitcoin in 2015 by repeating that sells in May routine every year. You'd be left with just 0.39 Bitcoins by October 2024. That's the kinds of strategies Wall Street would love you to follow because it means they get to scoop up the coins at a discount while you sit on the sidelines. Now let's flip that. Instead, you hold your Bitcoin the whole way through, or better yet, dollar cost averaging $100 per month. You'll be sitting on almost 10 Bitcoins by 2024. That's nearly 900% net gain. Same timelines, same market, just a different mindset. Let's get even deeper. People often ask, what if I sell at the tops to lock in profit? Okay, sounds logical, but then you trigger a tax event. Capital gains tax can wipe out 20 to 40% of those profits. So let me ask you straight, why create a tax bill if you don't need to? Here's a smarter move. Borrow against your Bitcoin. You can go to platforms like Lend or Coinbase and get a loan using your Bitcoins as collateral. No selling, no taxes. You keep your Bitcoin and still gets access to cash. I know people who bought real estate doing exactly that. They use Bitcoins backed loans to buy rental property. The property pays for itself and the Bitcoins is still intact, growing. That's not just smart. It's what the wealthy do. They don't sell valuable assets. They leverage them. That's how they preserve wealth across generations. Now, I want you to think about how unpredictable the Bitcoin market is. Some of the biggest rallies happens in just a handful of days. Literally, 10 days per cycle drive most of the gains. Miss those? And you miss 75% of the total upside. That's why times in the market beats timings the market every single time. You probably seen it. Someone's panic, sells too early, then buys back higher. They repeat the cycle until they burn through most of the stack. But the long-term holders, the ones who stay through the noise, they're the ones driving Lambos through the bear markets and sipping coffee during chaos. And it's not just anecdotes. People like the Winklevoss twin, early Bitcoin's believer, became billionaires by simply holding through volatility. Then there's Diddy's the Hutu, the guy who sold everything in 2017 to live entirely off Bitcoin. He bet on a long game. And now his entire family's legacy is riding the wave of his decentralized revolution. Another story, a Reddit user turned a middle-class salary into millionaire status over 7 years by doing one thing consistently, stacking and holding Bitcoin. Let's go even further. This isn't just about wealth. It's about freedom, about having control over your future. Every time you sell your Bitcoin, you're giving up. You're giving away your powers. Every time you hold, you're voting for a world where you make the rules, not banks, not inflation, not broken fiat system. Holding Bitcoins for 10 plus years is not just about watching price go up. It's about transforming your relationship with money. I used to think short-term what I can buy with this. Now, every time I consider spending, I ask myself how many sets Am I giving up right now? That mindset shift, that's how wealth begins. Let's also talk security. If you're holding for the long term, please secure your Bitcoin. Use cold storage, hardware wallets like the Ledger, NanoX, or Treasure's model. My favorite one is Tangent. So look into it. One keeps your sets offline and safe from hackers, scams, and even government seizure. Because this isn't just about numbers on a screen, it's about sovereignty. It's about being your own bank. And if you're going to hold for 10 years or more, you better protect your futures like it's worth everything. This is how wealth works. The wealthies don't sell their appreciating assets. They borrow against them and use their cash to grow more assets. Then they pay back the loan with devalued fiats while the bitcoins continues to climb. That's leverage. That's smart money. That's generational thinking. And listen, yes, selling a little bit at the top is okay if you got a plan. Maybe you want to pay off a home, diversify, or reduce risk. But if your goal is to get wealthy with bitcoins, not just rich for a weekend, holding is the best weapon. Let's auto gamble on timing. Let the meter screams about corrections. Let Wall Street say sell in May. You're building generational wealth. You stacking quietly. You playing the 10 years game. Because wealth doesn't come from one lucky trade. It's come from doing the right thing consistently, while others panics and sells too soon. So, if you ever feel tempted to cash out, just ask yourself, am I selling because I have a plan? Or because I'm scared? If it's fair, pause, rethink. You made this far. Don't give your coins to someone who just more patience than you. Flowers blooms after storms. Don't uproot your positions just because it's cloudy today. And more importantly, don't let short-term noise rob you of long-term freedom. With that said, my friend, whatever amounts of sets you own right now, don't forget to hold it tight and stack it right. I look forward to see you again in my next video. Take care.